toast makers, shot takers, and y'all already know my favorite, puff chasers. This is Grace SBA back with another installment of I Got Five On, where I just get my 5 cents from the masculine male perspective. Here we go. If you don't mind, make sure you like, share, and subscribe to the channel today. And let's get on with the show. So I came across this article a few days ago, and I was kind of like, this is interesting because I've been hearing a lot of people in these male spaces, manosphere spaces, red pill spaces talk about this particular topic when it comes to the health of men. And I wanted to give my own spill, my own perspective. So if I could go ahead and share screens right quick and give you all this article right quick, right? So let's do that, right? Okay. So this is this article right here that I want to share with you guys. So it's called Study. Male fertility plummets 62% worldwide is accelerating, right? And it says that the collapse in male fertility rates around the world is accelerating according to a journal of human reproductive update. It said that sperm counts dropped to 62% in under 50 years, a decade-long trend that is picking up pace. So if you haven't known, I think they have been tracking, I guess, the fertility rates and the sperm counts in men since like 1978, and said that from the years, especially from 2000, there have been like a decrease each and every year when you round it up to like 3% of testosterone count or sperm count being dropped in every man every year, right? So we go on down to the article. It says a low sperm count can contribute to a adverse. Excuse me. It says that a low sperm count can contribute to adverse men's health outcomes, including testicular cancer, hormonal disruption, and genital birth defects, as well as a decline in female reproductive health when it comes to the conception of having a child. Right. It says that Haggard Levine, the lead author of the study, calls the issue a crisis, warning the steep decline could get to an irreversible point. Right. You see the figure of the spermatodes trying to race to the egg and fertilize it. And it says that we have a serious problem on our hands that, if not mitigated, could threaten mankind's survival. He added, well, humankind, but mankind too. Since 2000, there has been a yearly 2.64% decline in the number of sperm in milliliters per semen, more than doubling the number found since 1978. And it says, while the study does not address potential causes, others have linked the low sperm count to obesity, sedentary lifestyles, meaning that you don't move around a lot, smoking, with adding carcinogen to your body, and then also exposure to certain chemicals and pesticides. Many chemicals are found in widely used everyday items, ranging from personal care products like lotions, creams, body oils, things of that nature, and then food packaging, according to the study co-author Shauna Swain. So they talk about food packaging. They're talking about a lot of plastics that they'll say later on in the article. Certain linings and water bottles. Also, in how people package foods, especially when you talk about fast foods, takeout, things of that nature. When a lot of our foods are packaged like styrofoam packaging, or a lot of plastic packaging. A lot of those packages still contain a lot of PBA, which I'll detail later in the article. Such indoctrinating disrupting chemicals are found commonly as lining in water bottles and food takeout containers. Bisphenol A, or also known as BBA, is another chemical added to food packaging linked to fertility issues. And it says that while the world population recently hit 8 billion, birth rates across the world are consistently declining. Okay. So when we talk about just the decline in the sperm count in men worldwide, we have to take into consideration that For one, we don't have the same diets that our parents, our grandparents, or great grandparents had many generations ago, where you had some families that were raising their own livestock. So it was no need to go to a supermarket that that produced the foods that many families would eat on a regular basis. Also, too, you really didn't see as many fast food restaurants as you do today, right? Even when you talk about restaurants, those particular dining institutions weren't really allowing for takeout. A lot of people just still traditionally ate food at restaurants, so it wasn't really a need to want to take a food to go anywhere, right? But once you saw the rise of the two-person economy, you started to see men and women going to work, which meant that a lot of women traditionally who would have been at home cooking meals weren't at home anymore. So that also led to a lot of individuals going to fast food restaurants, um, going, and getting foods that are wrapped in certain containers that, like they say in the article, has PPA lining, which thus contains itself inside the material, the meats, the fruits, the vegetables. I mean, whatever you just consuming at that time, the PPA chemicals are now inside of that food, and now you are digesting it, which some studies will show that it actually is permanently stuck to your insides, right? Um, and then also the rise of microwavable foods too. That also has a lot of PPA lining in it as well. Those TV dinners that was real popular in the 80s and 90s. So you got to take that into consideration too. And then also as well, there was an increase of indoor jobs. So when you have a desk job, and that was something very important when I started working at my place of employment, that you still do your best to remain active, because for one, to have healthy, I guess you could say, to have healthy sperm health, you had to be mobile. And I'll list that in a minute. How to basically pick up great, sperm production. But being mobile is one of those things that help with the movement of your sperm, and then to help create a better sperm count, right? So one of the things that I kind of wanted to, hit on was that as men, a lot of us are not living as healthy lifestyles as we could, right? One of the things that I noticed when talking about sperm count and then also testosterone, because they kind of go hand in hand, is just having a good exercise weightlifting regimen that a man follows, not necessarily each and every day, but do it to a point where it's a daily routine or it is a weekly routine, whether you're working out 3 days a week, 5 days a week, 4 days a week. As long as you're getting some type of movement, as long as you are lifting heavy weights, not ellipticals, not ellipticals now. There's a difference. Not ellipticals, actually lifting some iron. We ain't talking about them shits that you find at Planet Fitness. I'm talking about like some free weights. You have to actually put the weight on a barbell and lift weights. You know what I'm saying? Like that type of thing. So I just want to briefly list ways that you can help with the production of your sperm count if you ever find yourself in a situation where your sperm counts are low. And it kind of goes into my video I did about getting regular checkups on STD, STI, things of that nature. I think that men, especially men like myself that are in their 30s and older, and if you're looking to have kids, I think we have to start doing sperm tests. Going to your doctor, seeing if they have any way of checking to see how your sperm count is currently looking, right? Just to keep a mark of where you are at that moment. If you're good, what are things that you can do to maintain those numbers? And then if your numbers are looking abnormal or below average, try to figure out what ways you can do to improve those counts. So it says that from many sources. You can do your own independent research, but I'm just gonna give y'all a few points right now. It says to produce a healthy sperm count, for one, you must maintain a healthy weight. Okay, you must maintain a healthy weight. A lot that goes along with also producing a great volume of testosterone too, because as men, when we are typically overweight, that's typically a sign that we have more estrogen in our system than we do testosterone, which is pretty much like our excuse me, which is pretty much like our secret weapon. So if you have more estrogen, more fat, more negative fat, because there's positive fat and there's negative fat, right? So if you have more negative fat within your system instead of positive fat, that can thus cut away at your testosterone production, which will also cut away at your sperm production as well. Um, Going along with the healthy weight, having a healthy diet, and that goes along with the testosterone as well. Eating a lot of protein, fats, carbs, also having a good diet of vegetables and fruits as well, you know, to help kind of, go along with that production of spermatode. There are plenty of foods that you can look up, fruits and vegetables that help with the production of sperm. Um, Being sexually healthy, that's another thing. Um, Making sure that you don't have, diseases like gonorrhea, chlamydia, syphilis, those diseases that left untreated can particularly lead you down a road of infertility as a man, right? Which would make it impossible for you to ever get a woman pregnant if you were looking to have kids on down the line. Also, managing stress, making sure that you have low stress levels. I mean, we all are going to experience some level of stress, but making sure that you're not in a constant stress the majority of the day, right? Making sure those cortisol levels are down too, because the higher that it is, the less that you'll be able to produce good sperm, and the less that you'll be able to get a good testosterone T cell count as well too. And then lastly, get moving. You know, get moving, move around often. Don't sit down all the time. If you're a person like myself that have an Apple Watch, make sure that you are utilizing that because it tells you to stand up a couple of times. Depending on what settings you got on. Mine's have it to where stand up like 12 times a day, making sure that I'm moving around my activity ring, and then also the exercise too. It encourages the user to walk, right? Making sure you get in your 30 minutes or however many minutes that you set your watch to a day. Um, and also, too, it doesn't list this in the article that I came across. Again, do your own independent research. Get in sunlight. Get in sunlight. Get in vitamin D, whether you're getting that vitamin D directly from the sun or whether you're taking vitamin D supplements. I would prefer that you get it from the sun because, those supplements, you never know all those other additives that they could have added to the supplement that probably would make the vitamin D supplement that you're taking less effective. So I'd rather you get it from the main source, the sun. Um, Move around outside in particular. Um, get some fresh air. You know, get some fresh air. You know what I mean? I mean, if you go to a gym, cool, that's fine, but try to make it a habit of getting some fresh air, right? Because when I was taking my courses for heating and air conditioning, or heating, ventilation, and air conditioning, or HVAC, the air outside is much cleaner than air on the inside, which I know a lot of people kind of like, what, really? Yeah, man. Because you got to think about it. Your dead skin cells are flowing around here, and all the other chemicals that could be floating in the air. Go outside. Go outside, get that fresh air. In particular, when the sun is out, so you can also get the rays of the sun, get that vitamin D going. And it just really and it really just is a booster to your esteem as well too. Um, but make sure you do those things on a regular basis, because one thing we got to understand is even though we have 8 billion people in the world, as of today, you still have a lot of countries, developed countries, that are seeing birth rates decline. And a lot of that has to do with lifestyle, of course, but then also too the health of a lot of individuals as well. So if we want to see more of us repopulate the earth, man, we gotta make sure that we put ourselves at the right position health wise, and of course, other things as well. But more importantly, make sure that our health is most optimal, so that we can have kids in the best healthy options possible. But y'all, that's just my 5 cents on it. If y'all have any other tips that men who may be going through infertility issues, or just improving their health overall, improving production of testosterone, improving production of sperm count, put it in the comment section below. We try to help each other out now. But as always, eyes front, head high to the finish. See this shit through.